We try to keep our animals safe and secure, but things happen to even the most responsible pet owner. Luckily, there are resources to help reunite lost pets with their owners. Mark Shambour is here from Canine Korral with Patty Giarrusso from Lost Pet Services with some tips. All right, this is every pet owner's nightmare. And, you know, it's happened to us. We thought we lost our dog. How often does this happen?
It happens more than you think. I would say about 85% of the dogs that are lost may be recovered, but not necessarily recovered to their parents.
Gotcha. So they may go to another home, someone finds them and they can't bring the dog back to the home for whatever.
It's scary because a lot of people don't think of the things that you should do in order to prevent that.
And I'm glad we're going to get these tips because it's the worst thing if it happens to you or if it happens to someone else. So Patty, you have an organization. Tell us about Lost Pet Services.
Okay, Lost Pet Services is an all-volunteer 501c3 nonprofit organization that I just started less than a year ago. But for almost 5 years, I've had a group on Facebook for lost pets. So we've been doing this for quite a while. But as we grew, I expected it only to be 200 people. It is now over 16,000 people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and during the year 2017, we reunited over 1,800 pets just in Manatee and Sarasota County.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you've created a network basically.
Yes.
So, and it's a great thing to know about because you don't plan to lose a pet.
No.
But if your pet is lost, you know exactly who to go to.
Right.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So, all right, we don't want to lose the pet, but what do we do if either our pet is lost or if we see a pet that appears to be lost?
Well, I always figured the first instinct is to call animal services, but that's the last place you want the pet to wind up. Obviously, that's the pound, and that's where stray dogs go. But myself, everybody's going to do something differently. I would try to safely contain the pet and then see if it has any tags or any information. And then, of course, we were talking about going to take it to your local veterinarian because they can scan the chip. That way it's still not in the shelter and it has a chance to get back home.
Okay. And then you have resources like Lost Pet Services.
Yes.
All right, so that's once the pet is lost, which we hope doesn't happen. How can we prevent losing our pet?
Well, you know, sometimes it's just very simple. You have to pet-proof your house and your yard. And a lot of times we don't think about, I was on a private lesson recently. The dog bolted out of the door, and the first thing I did on the private lesson was fix their door. You know, it's just things like that that we don't think about, or screens aren't in the windows, the fence, they can get underneath it. So you really have to pet-proof your house and look for that. Another thing is, not necessarily just for obedience, but the dog should wait at the door before it goes out the house. Normally you do that because you want to be in control of the walk, but if your dog is used to always waiting at the door, there's less of a chance for it to bolt. Right. That's real important. And as we just talked about, microchipping is very important, and Patty has one of the scanners, which aren't cheap either, but that's one step to get the dog back to its owner. So a vet would actually be able to do that. It's in its infancy, but they're having GPS microchips available too, so you can locate your dog even if you aren't scanning it.
Oh, wow.
It's really interesting.
Wow.
One of the things that we do is for any dog that's adopted through one of our nonprofit shelters or through the county is we give them a free training session at the Canine Korral. People don't realize that when you get a dog, you think that it's automatically bonded to you, but it's just a dog that doesn't really know where its pack is. So there's really a good chance that that dog needs to learn how to bond with you, and you have to create that relationship with the dog. And that's what this is designed to do.
These classes can help. So, all right, if you have your dog, you know, even if we have our dog on a leash, sometimes dogs can sneak out of collars. You brought a great example.
This is a martingale collar. They call it many different things, but the thing about this is it puts even pressure around the neck so that it doesn't choke the dog.
Oh, good.
But what happens is if they try to back out, it snugs around the dog so the dog won't escape out of it. They say it's escape proof. I'm sure there's a Houdini that can get out of it. But that's very necessary for a dog, especially if it's a new dog. I would have one of those. Really best thing is a no escape proof. The other thing you want to remember is you should never chase a pet.
Oh, yes.
If you chase a pet, they're going to go the other way. But you can go toward the pet and run the other way, and there's a good chance that that pet's going to follow you.
Oh, great.
And that's very, very good
These
advice
are
because I've used it a lot myself.
great.
Run in your door and then
These
shut
are
it.
great tips. Thank you so much, Mark and Patty. Great resources. For more information about all of your pet needs, including daycare and boarding, you can find Canine Korral on their website, caninekorralsrq.com. Coming up next, we're going to see what's happening at Florida Studio Theater's improv program.